Hi everyone, how are you doing?
Hi everyone, how are you doing?
Today we want to talk about stop following the herd and do this instead. And we're going to be giving you a bit of a property market update and a few other bits and pieces from a business perspective as well. So if you are there, please let us know. Or if you're watching later on, then put hashtag live. Let us know if you're there. So before we dive into the content.
Yep. So San and I are hoping to jump on these lives every Thursday. Obviously, as long as it's practical for us to make it, we will pencil it in for every Thursday midday. That's the plan, so that we can connect with you all, just connect with you all and talk to you about what we are seeing in the market. The last few years, we haven't really had the opportunity to do it to the same degree as we would have liked to because we've had our hands full. So recently we completed 6 years in business, and I'm conscious that we haven't really had the opportunity to update you all about where things are at in business, what's happening behind the scenes. Yeah, again, we've had our hands full, and that's what's prevented us from really showing up. And I'm really hoping that is going to change now as we get the right support in our business.
Some of you have been our clients from early days, and some we have spoken to over the years. As you know, we run two businesses. The first one is the mortgage broking business, and the second is the property buyers agency. So Mona and I, we just for a bit of an update from our perspective and our team, we started off with just the two of us with the finance business in 2017. And the goal was to help our clients build property portfolios and give them the advice to correctly structure the finance to build a property portfolio. And we didn't receive that advice in our own journey. And that's what triggered this direction for ourselves. And many of our clients in this time started with their first properties and now have gone on to build multi-property portfolios, anywhere from 2 properties to 8 properties. And we've seen different stages of the market in our own property journey over the last 13 years and over the last 6 years in business. And some of the trends we will talk about shortly as well.
Yeah, so I guess talking about clients who have gone to build multi-property portfolios, effectively it's a cycle, right? And planning is very important, and that's what we help our client plan. But the journey is fluid, right? What you need to be doing is really taking action and doing your part whilst you have the resources to make things happen. Because often people get stuck with what the media might be saying, what's in the news, and they fail to take action, or they become fearful of what could happen, and to their detriment, they don't do anything. And as time goes on, the cycle just continues.
And that's why, back to the topic, that if you guys have joined us just now, stop following the herd and start following your own economy. And going back to as this started with just Mona and myself in 2017, and in 2020 we launched the Property Twins Buyers Agency because we found that many of our clients didn't only want loan structuring advice on how to do the finance correctly the right way, but they also wanted help with buying quality investment properties. And in terms of where we are as a team, Mona, could you share that?
So as Sana said earlier, it started off with just the two of us in March 2017 when we walked out of our corporate careers working for Macquarie Bank. Where we are today, so we are a strong team of 13 as of now, and from 2 to 13, like it's been quite a journey, but we feel very well prepared to be able to cater our client, to be able to help more of you and provide you with the guidance that you need, and for Sana and I to do more of that. And in January, I'd like to add, in January, we had our head of operations, Pooja Rani, start with us, and she's been with us for now for 4 months actually next week. And it's been an exciting time for our team as we get our structures right, as we provide the right support to our clients moving forward. So, and I guess we are just now looking forward to as to what's to come really, and we're going to obviously dive into that in a moment as to how we see the market panning out and what we are seeing in the market currently.
Yeah, so moving on to the property side of things, right? There's a bit of talk of rate cut.
Yeah, so obviously the rate rise that happened on Tuesday, the 2nd of May, that came as a bit of a surprise to most people because I think there was some research being done, 20 out of 30 economists that were researched from various lending organizations. They had said that they thought that there will be no rate rise effective on Tuesday, but that's happened. We believe that it might be coming up to the peak of rate rises, and there might be maybe 1 or 2 more of these to go. But moving forward, though, there will be a rate cut cycle coming, and that's what's expected. There's been talks of that. So what does it mean really, being a property buyer and a property investor investor, whether home buyer or property investor, it effectively means your borrowing capacity will improve as time goes on. And as borrowing capacity improves, there'll be more funding available. You'd obviously be able to borrow more. And when people are able to borrow more, that will translate into future property growth for sure. Obviously, currently it's quite tight what we are finding, but as rates go down, it will improve. And also talking about, I guess, just the way lending is looked at currently. So the Australian Prudential Regulatory Authority, APRA, as per their regulations, what banks do is they look at your interest rate that you're paying and they add 3% buffer on top for assessment purposes. Right now, this assessment rate is going all the way up to 10%, obviously depending on what type of loan you're going for, whether owner occupied, investment, principal interest or interest only. So the assessment rate has been as high as closer to 10%. So it's been tight from a lending perspective, but whilst APRA haven't indicated that they'll be cutting down any buffers or the 3% buffer, there is a chance that they may pull back on that. And should they pull back on that buffer, that will again fuel more borrowing capacity and lead to further price growth.
Whilst APRA haven't indicated any move on the buffer they add to your existing rates for assessment purposes, lending assessment, which is impacting a lot of people, some lenders have changed though how they take the rental income as well, or how much of it. So lenders do try to move at least the wiggle room they have to change their policies to allow for more lending. And over time, we've seen, different lending calculators changed, how they do the expenses, how they do rental income, etc., how they take bonus income, for example. So it's just ever evolving. It's not a box where you put the figures that spit out. It just keeps changing month on month, year on year. And going back to your point that with potential rate cuts coming, there would be an increase in strong price growth. There's also immigration, right, which is not stopping. It's increasing the housing demand, it's increasing the rent, increasing the number of buyers in the market.
That's right. So obviously immigration is another key area that will fuel prices. So historically, say from 1991 till 2004, the average number of people that were moving to Australia was about 90,500. And reading some commentary from Macro Business, they say that between 2005 and 2019, the average migration was 219,000 people. So going from 90,500 people all the way to 219,000, that's a 140% increase. And this number, 219K, is expected to increase further. And even in 2022, obviously, because after the pandemic, there was a bit of a lag, 400,000 people actually made the move to Australia. These people need a place to live, right? They need to either buy or rent. So obviously, we have had a supply issue in this country for a very, very long time. It's ongoing. The demand is outstripping the supply. So despite what people thought could happen with prices, we expect that the prices will continue to hold up. Or if anything, some of the banks, or actually majority of the major banks, have come out and revised their price forecast and all. So we're not going to have a cliff. I know at times people sit on the sidelines waiting for the
perfect time to have the epiphany to get into the market.
That, or they might blame the financial environment for not taking action. So people need someone to blame or pass on the responsibility. So if you are one of those people waiting for that bottom to arrive, you may have missed the boat altogether.
Mona, I just want to add, or if you're watching Channel 7 or Channel 9 news and feeding your mind with that all the doom and gloom rather than controlling your own economy, because if you can borrow today, doesn't mean you will be able to borrow in 12 months. Your life circumstances could change. Rate cuts happen, prices increase. You can't afford that same property. So if you can do that today,
right? Either way, you lose. Obviously, currently you'll pay higher rate, but down the track, you might be paying higher prices. Our view is really that if you've been sitting on the sidelines and you're waiting for that magic time, you need to really stop and reflect and potentially take action. There is lack of supply. It's not going to get better anytime soon. There's lack of quality stock. And that's what we have found, right? Obviously buying for our buyers agency clients in Brisbane, Perth, and Adelaide as well. There is a shortage of good quality property. Yeah, sure, anyone can buy you just any property, but we are looking for quality property.
And just to add to this, we have seen this before, right? And looking at what's happening in the market currently in Sydney, what we are observing on our client base is basically there's more first home buyers than we have seen in the recent years, and who are wanting to get into the market. They're trying to escape the rent cycle, and that's really happening across Australia, really, with the rising rents. They'd rather buy their own property. We've seen this in Sydney in particular, the exact same cycle in 2013, then 2019. And again, we are seeing this. And what we saw from the last few cycles, say 2017 and 2019, is many of our first time buyer clients became investors 12 to 18 months later. They bought their homes 12 to 18 months later, built some equity, built some saving, and they were buying their first or second investment properties by that time. So smart move. They're smart home buyers who are doing that. And also there's many of our clients are upgrading their homes as well. So it's a good time to be thinking you're upgrading in the same market, you're selling your existing home and then buying the next home, provided you can borrow, because borrowing is to a degree tight. And as Mona was saying earlier, there's not enough quality stock or top grade investment properties available. And that's what we are finding. The same in Brisbane, Adelaide, Perth. The demand is outstripping the supply. Just speaking to agents in Brisbane and Perth, there are 40 to 50 people through a property receiving maybe double digit in offers, 10 offers on average per property, which means there's a lot of competition, very little good stock. That's going to push up prices anyway. And if it's bad quality stock, then do you really want to buy it? So we've been prudent with what our clients get into, but it also means, being able to put them at the front of the queue as part of the buyer's agency service that we provide our clients. Again, earlier we said major banks have revised their forecast for Australian prices with rises to come. So it appears we might be past the bottom, right? People keep trying to time the bottom, keep looking for that perfect time. People did that in 2020. But the point is, you can never time the bottom. What you can do is control your own economy, your own resources, and actually take action. And right, that happened in COVID times as well.
Well, 2019 and then COVID times as well. So those who did take action, and I know I think of clients who actually took action at that point in time, it paid off really. So it's how Warren Buffett says, right?
Be greedy when others are fearful, and be fearful
when others are greedy. We've seen similar cycles previously, right? Like even back in 2013 and 2019.
And we have been the only buyers at properties in 2012, 2011 in Sydney, or 2015 in Brisbane, 2016 in Brisbane, being the only buyers. And same with the other side of the country in Perth and Adelaide. So our personal philosophy is there's two things. One, when your why is big enough, the how is easy. If your why is not big enough, you are not going to take action and you're going to sit on the sides and keep giving excuses. And second is, we've always been proponents of taking action when you are able to, when you personally have the resources, right? You can't keep comparing yourself with the Joneses that XYZ is not doing it. You don't know their circumstances, or XYZ is getting a certain rate and I'm not, but you are not them. They have totally different set of circumstances. Maybe they're not able to take action right now, or maybe they are able to take action. So follow your own GPS and direction as to why you're doing it and what you're wanting to do. This is what we did when building our own property portfolio. Nobody wanted to buy in Sydney. We were the only buyers. So
Darius has commented that, that Bucky took action when RBA said there would be no rate rises until 2024. And now it's quite challenging. So that's where I would say is we say that don't listen to the noise, really, right? We've never been the ones to listen to what's happening in the media or what the media are saying. We've always been proponents of doing what you can with your resources. So not outsourcing that decision making, doing your own risk management. And I know many people did take action when they did because of potentially no rate rises in 2024. But if history is to go by, nobody can predict the future, and neither could RBA. So, but there is a perfect storm or ingredients of a potential boom or price growth. So you need to take action while you can. So people who haven't done anything or are sitting on the sidelines waiting for that opportune time that may never arrive. So it's all about taking action. And also,
I just want to add one more thing though, right? We are finding people who have bought properties may not be able to service right now, but it is going to change. It is expected to change with rates changing potentially, and the cycle continues really given the shortage of housing we have.
And with Right Finance and Right Property, it is possible to build a portfolio. Again, the message is stop following the herd, do what's right for you. So we will be conducting a masterclass on 24th of May at 8 p.m. It's a Wednesday. So we will be posting some registration details soon. But in the meanwhile, if you're looking at speaking with Sana or myself in relation to your portfolio to discuss where you are at and how you're able to take your next steps or what your next steps should be in your portfolio, you can book a time to speak with us on meetme.so/property twins. And Sivrat from our team we'll also put in a link to our call. So you can book a call with us. We'll just a 15-minute initial chat. So it's not a lot of time investment on your part or our part. It's just to discuss where you're at, learn a bit about your goals, what you're looking at doing, and just pointing you in the right direction as to what you need to do as next steps, where you should really be going in terms of your property portfolio. Or even if you're a first home buyer starting out, what should you be doing really? From there on, working out your borrowing capacity, working out how your portfolio looks like as well.
Great. Well, guys, just let us know how you go on from here, and any questions pop in the comment section, and anything you would like us to cover in these Thursday lives, please let us know and we'll aim to encapsulate it in our future lives. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Bye.